It's video 25, and this is kind of like arts and crafts time because we're going to be doing plotting graphs. To do that, we're going to be using Matplotlib, so we'll just jump into it. So, first we're going to load pandas as usual, but then we're going to load Matplotlib library, and then we're going to do this little bit of magic code which allows the graphs to appear inside the Jupyter notebook. You probably won't see graphs if you don't have that in place, so make sure you've got that. Then we're going to load the data, inspect the data as we always do, and then we're going to jump into Matplotlib. So Matplotlib is the kind of granddaddy of all the drawing packages used with pandas. It is the one that many other packages are built on top of, but maybe they've changed the way you code it, which might make it quicker. And we'll see a couple other drawing packages in the next few videos. But it's good to get your head around Matplotlib because other packages are built on top of it, so they're going to use some of the same syntax, and it's good to understand like how to do it just in case you get stuck with one of the other ones. So let's get into this. Fig is an object that we're creating in PLT. Remember, we loaded Matplotlib as PLT, so this is basically Matplotlib, and this is the method that basically draws the graph. And what we're saying is, when we call this, draw something and draw it 20 long and 5 high. And then the next part is creating containers. So we're going to create 2 containers, and the containers is essentially what you send the data into. These are 2 by 2, so they're going to be 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom if we were to use 4. And the first one we're going to see is this one because it's labeled number 1 and number 2. But if you had 4 of these, you'd go 3, 4. And that would give them their relative position. To send the data in, what we do is we do ax1, so we do ax1.plot, then we add a data source. So we're adding volume of links per app listing page. And for the second one, we're adding citation flow for the listing page. So if we quickly draw this, that's us. That's how quickly it is to plot a graph, a simple basic graph. And these are the default colors and layout. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through and amend these slightly. So first up, we're going to change the color in the line space in the trust data and just the color in the citation flow. And again, I've basically just copy and pasted that and then put color equals and line style equals to change the line in the color. What happens when we do this is we get pretty colors and we get dotted lines over here. Another way to do this, basically use short notation. So Rx dash dash. Again, well, in this case, we're not going to draw 2, we're just going to draw 1. So it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. No, 1, 1, 1. There we go. And that's the graph that we get there for that. So we've got a dotted line, we've got X's, and the color is red. But I think it's better to use this method, particularly if you're sharing documents between people, because it's more explicit. So it says the color is red, the marker is X, and the line is dash dash. So if a newbie picks this up and they don't know that notation, then it's very clear what's going on in this one. So it's better practice to do it that way. Just with the same example again, we're going to improve this and we're going to change the step style. So like we've got kind of up, down, and it kind of the line goes and follows it. But we're going to use steps in this case. So we've got color, red, marker, X, line style, dash, dash, then label, default, and draw style. And then we're going to add a legend, and the legend is going to include the label, and we're going to put the location as best. So we're just going to let the map pick itself. There we go. So same data, just stepped instead of like lines. And we have the default legend up here. All pretty simple and straightforward. So what happens if we want to customize this in a bit more detail? We want to change, maybe we want to change these ticks to be numbers at a different scale. So we're going to change that. We're going to change what they say to 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 instead of the numbers. We're going to have those at a rotation of 30 degrees, and the font size is going to be small. And we're going to give it a title. So at that point, we're doing AX set title. And we're just going to majestic data, trust flow, first 30 rows. And we're going to give it an X label. So we're going to label this as apps. There you go. So because we've given it a different axis, it continues on because it hasn't got the data. Default colors, steps are still the same because we never changed those. But we've got the 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 at 30 degrees, and it's in small font. So that's how you start to customize it. Oh, and the titles up at the top. Next, we're going to add some annotation. So we're going to take this and then we're going to put an overlay on it, like of an arrow pointing, saying something. So to do this, we do ax.annotate, and then we feed it the string that we want to have there. Then we give it its positions, and then we give the pointer positions. Then we give the text positions, and then we create a dictionary for the arrow. So it's arrow props. We're going to give it a face color of cyan again. Shrink, so that's the distance. We'll play around with that, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's a strange name initially. And the width, the line width. So LW is line width, and then the color is going to be magenta on the outside, I think it is. So if we run this, there it is. So the app has a lot of trust. It's pointing at the highest point, and so if we change this to 6, the shrink to 6, it makes a line slightly longer. There wasn't much in it though. See, it's very slight. And then if we wanted to change the line, we'd mess everything up and mess up my pretty drawing. Yeah, so that's how you would take a graph and then annotate it. And then the final thing is, once you've created this lovely graph that you want to show to your boss or your client, you want to save it. And saving things is really easy. So we do PLT. So we've got all the same codes as above in here. And then we do PLT. So remember, it's Matplotlib. .savefig. Give it a name and a file extension. So I usually go with ping. Hit save. That's automatically saved it. If we scroll down here, we've got it. There it is. And it's just an image. You can save that, move that, do whatever you like with it. So that's Matplotlib. This is the quickest way to go around Matplotlib. It is a huge library. There's so much more you can do in this, but these are the basics that I found useful in the beginning. If you liked the video, then hit the like button. If you got any questions or comments, stick it in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them. If you want to support the channel, support the growth of the community, hit subscribe. And if you really, really love us, share the videos, tell your friends, and let's try grow this and work together to all become more technical marketers. All right, next video coming at you. It's drawing again.